Hello, everyone. Welcome to our class today, which is stretch, twist, and turn for your upper body. And this will be a gentle class that you could do in the morning or anytime you need a warm up. And it'll be done as chair yoga, mostly standing up with some sitting or leaning on the chair, but no mat work. The only props you're going to need are a resistance band and one yoga block, or you could use a thick book or something else sturdy that you could lean on. So let's go over. We're starting out standing up. So I'm just going to switch my camera and I'll meet you over there. See you in a sec. Pick up your resistance band. Stand up any place you like, staying comfortable. And place the band around your neck with one end long, one end short. And then crisscross your arms so that the short end of the band you're holding with your opposite arm. So in my case, I have the short end on my right, and I'm using my left hand to hold this. And you're just going to gently pull on this to hold it in place. And then with your other hand, pick up the long end of the band, bring it up beside the side of your cheek and the side of your ear, gently placing the band there. And then use your arm and your neck power to turn and look over to the side. And this may help you improve your range of motion with turning your neck. And while you take a few breaths here, you might like to just let your eyes gaze over top of your upturned arm, almost as if you're driving and you're checking your blind spot in that back window. And when you're ready, gently move the band away, lower it down, and then switch over to the other end being short, the other end long. And once again, switch your arms, using the short end just to anchor the band so it won't slip. And then lifting up the long side to reach alongside your head. And turn and look the other way. Keeping your body facing straight forward so that you're just doing this action in your neck and your upper shoulders a bit. And you may just glance back over that upturned arm, upraised arm. Take a few breaths here. And when you're ready, gently turn back and lower this down. And we'll take this band off, but you might just leave it anywhere handy that you can grab it in a moment. Give yourself lots of space so that you can come into a forward fold. Starting out standing comfortably, feet parallel, as wide as you would like them to be. And just with your arms down at your side, take an inhale as you look forward. And as you exhale, start to hinge at the hip, but allow your back to round down as your upper body swings forward, slowly rolling down until you come to a halfway forward fold with your hands resting on the front of your shins. And here in this space, take an inhale, feeling the length from your tailbone all the way up through the top of your head. And for some people, this might be as low as you like to go. And for others, you may lower down until your fingertips can just brush the floor. And you can bend your knees here if you need to and step wider. Come back up to halfway. And if you're not able to go down low enough to touch the floor, you could go up and down from this halfway point as well. But if you're okay lowering down, just calm down. Let your fingertips dangle, maybe touching the floor. And you might feel a release in your low back. Lean your weight more into your heels and feel a stretch along the back of your legs, all the way up to your glutes. And let your shoulders just relax. And then we'll start to roll back up on an inhale. Taking your time, slowly rolling down up like a Ragdoll, coming back upright and leaving your head and shoulders down until the very end. When at this point, as you lift up your shoulders, roll them back, lift your head up and reach back behind you. Feel an opening through your chest as you take a few breaths here. And you can lower your arms down to your sides anytime you're ready for that. That should take about 3 breaths, just feeling the ease with your chest open, of being able to breathe in and out. And come back and find your band. Stand in a little bit wider stance than mountain with your feet in a comfortable position. And holding the band with a little bit of tension in it. Raise the band above your head. And you may move your hips side to side or keep them still as you just do sort of a fluid side bend to start with. And you may just keep doing it this way. Take everything at your own pace and choose the version that suits you today. Or you might like to pour your weight into one of your feet. On that side of your body is the side that you'll be stretching as you lean over to the other side. Keeping the other foot on the ground, but not much weight in it. And see if you can send some breath into these ribs along this side, so that as if you're using your breath to stretch them a little bit apart. And then once you've done that one side, and you'll know how long to hold that, switch over to the other side, pouring your weight the other way. I'm taking a few breaths here. And then come back up to center. Now you could do another 1 or 2 sets of those side bends or fluid side bends, or you could add a twist and a circle, turning your body to look to the side and dipping your hands down, twisting over to the other side and coming back up, making a nice circle. And maybe you do 2 in this direction, and then when you reach the top again, switch directions and go the other way. Giving all these muscles along your core a little chance to wake up here. And now we're finished with the band. We'll just set this aside for now. And let's have your chair with all 4 feet on the mat down at the end so that you have lots of room behind you. And I just realized we might need to have the block or the band close by. So let's just move them over by the chair right now. And then we've got them ready for later. So let's stand in front of the chair, feet pointing towards it on an inhale. Lift up, stretch your arms way up. And as you exhale, hinge at the hip, bringing your hands down onto the chair seat. You could also use your fists or hold onto the side of the chair. And step your feet back onto the balls of your feet, bending your knees a lot so that you can wrap your tailbone down towards the floor. And in this position, keep your chin tucked in, gaze down at the floor, and let your back round out like a Halloween cat. And when an inhale comes, lift up your tail, let your belly drop, broaden across your chest, still keeping your chin tucked so that you may be looking towards your chair back somewhere. Coming into a slight back bend in cow pose. And then on your exhale, go back into cat, rounding your back. Inhale up to cow, coming into a back bend. And do a couple more sets of these on your own, in the timing of your own breath. And from here, as you come into cow to finish off your pose, step your feet back further, coming into downward facing dog. For this, I recommend having your palms on the chair. Press your palms down and your arms, pull them towards each other. And use that power coming from your shoulders and your arms to send your hips up and back. As you feel a wonderful stretch in your arms, your shoulders, and your back. And you could just stay still breathing here, or you might bend and unbend your knees. Swish your hips around as you take a few breaths here, moving as you would like, or staying still. And then on an inhale, come back towards the chair, walking back up, bringing your left foot up close to the chair and stepping your right foot back into a lunge. And if it feels okay for you, lift your palms up off the chair gradually so that you just have your fingertips there. And then you might walk your hands up your thigh or bring them up onto your hips. Start to pull your legs together and make sure that your feet are wide enough apart that it's like they're on two separate railroad tracks. And lift your arms up if this feels okay. Bend into your front knee and wrap your tailbone down. Press down into your feet and reach up. And here you might pick up your band, or if you wanted to do something a little more difficult, use your block. And then reach forward, holding the band. So if you're stretching it away from you, reach, reach, reach. And then maybe you can lift this up. Not necessarily all the way above your head, but a little bit in front of you. Keep pulling your legs together, press down into your feet. Reach out through the top of your head, reach out through your fingertips, and let your gaze be looking towards your band or block if that's what you're using. And then lower this all back down, forward folding down to the chair seat. And then step this back foot forward. And step your left foot back, coming back into a lunge position. Lift up again, hands on your hips. And you may, in this position, do a little bit of a side bend. And you may bring your band up above your head. Continue to do a side bend. Wrap your tailbone down towards your back of your knees to help your pelvis feel comfortable, your low back feel comfortable. Maybe you'll circle around a little bit. Keep those legs engaged. Maybe one circle the other way. And then come back to the chair, folding forward. Bend into your back knee a little and step forward. Great work, everybody. And we'll just leave this here. Come to stand and bring your arms out to the sides with your palms facing forward and your thumbs pointing up. And inhale in this position. And as your exhale starts, start to turn so that your palms are facing down and your thumbs are coming to the front. And keep going, just exploring the range of motion as your palms face backwards and your thumbs are down. And you may even be able to go far enough that your palms start to face upwards with your thumbs pointing to the back behind you. And inhale your way back to your starting position. And using your breath, go back on your exhales. Notice how far you can turn and maybe see if you can challenge that range of motion a little bit. Staying comfortable, not causing yourself any pain, but just noticing, what range do you have in this position? And let's just do a couple more following the rhythm of your breath. And on your last one, come back to the front and then have your inhale. And as you start your last exhale, maybe you can hold that final position for 1 to 3 breaths. Just see how that feels to you. And then exhale to come back forward when you're ready. Shake out your arms and lower them down. Now let's sit down. I'm going to stay with my chair like this so you can see from the side for a couple things we're going to do. So starting out, you can sit back in your chair, but not so that your back is touching onto the chair seat. Have your feet nice and wide, perhaps shoulder distance apart with your knees right above. And then lift your arms out to the side. Inhaling as you look forward, and as you exhale, twist over to the side. Inhale back to the front, twist over to the other side. And let's do a few more of these. Let's say 3 more to each side. If you are using these later or incorporating these into your regular routine in the morning or before warming up at some other time of the day, if there are a few of these exercises that you like, you can just pick and choose which ones you want to do, or you can do the whole routine. Come back to center now and let your arms rest down for a moment. Now we're going to move into something called a seated dancer pose. So move forward a little bit further on your chair, and with your right foot, set it out in front of you so that your leg is somewhat straighter and your foot is still flat on the floor. And then take your left foot and just come up onto the ball of your foot and your toes, having that foot more or less right underneath your chair seat. So starting out here, take an inhale as you look forward. And then as you start to exhale, reach your left arm back to hold onto the chair as you reach your right arm forward and you lean forward. Now keep your bum pressing back down on the chair and your foot below you pressing down. As you reach out, pull the back of your chair forward and reach with your front hand. So you need to be pressing back with your bum and your foot so that you don't fall out of your chair. And just feel this lovely stretch along your arm, shoulder, and back. All right, now let that relax. Come back to sitting and bring that leg back in. Now switch over your other legs, bringing your left foot forward now and your right foot back under you. Take an inhale, looking forward, and then reach back with your right arm. Reach forward with your left, stretching your second side. Reach those fingertips towards the wall in front of you. Pull on your chair back with your back arm and press back with your bum and your foot, pressing down. Another breath or so here. And then just come back in and relax. Sit down and take a breath here. And let's stand back up. And bring your block with you. Come out to stand where you have lots of room. Set the block down right in front of you, where you could reach it, and set your feet wide, about as wide as the width of your mat, with your hands on your hips. All right. Stand up tall, looking forward as you take an inhale. And as you exhale, come down into a halfway forward fold, bringing your hands to rest on top of this block. Adjust your feet if you need to, and send some more weight back into your heels so that you can feel a little bit of stretch on the back of your legs. And then you might intensify that by bending your elbows, lowering down, but still keep your back long and neutral rather than, you don't want to do it like rounding your back like this. You want to keep your back neutral. Feel a little bit of more stretch here. And keeping your left arm and your left shoulder low, you might be able to turn your body to look to the right, reaching your right arm up and gazing towards it. And then bring that right hand back onto the block. Keep your right arm and shoulder low as you turn to the left and reach up to this side, gazing upwards. Bring this arm back. Bend into your knees, press into your feet a little. As you come up, to make sure that your back is parallel to the floor, and gently take your hands off the block onto your legs. Walk them up to your hips and bring them out. And imagine you're an eagle soaring over the countryside, gracefully flapping your wings up and down. Take a few flaps of your wings here. Maybe they even go up a little bit higher than your torso, or maybe straight out. And then bring your hands back onto your legs. Bend your knees and inhale as you come back up to stand. Awesome work, everyone. And let's come back over to the chair, moving the block out of the way as we go. As we're coming close to the end of our practice today, bring your hands onto the chair. Leave your left foot as it is, close to the chair and pointing towards it. And step your right foot back into another lunge. And in this lower lunge, we'll leave the left hand on the chair, turning over to the right with your hand on your hip. And you may just stay like this, or you may be able to lift this arm up. Again, pull your legs towards each other to help keep you with a nice, sturdy, stable base. And you may let this arm swing back and forth or circle around. And if it feels okay for your neck, you could let yourself gently watch what that hand is doing. And then we'll switch over to the other side. You could do a few more reps of this if you want to, if you have lots of time. Just see how it feels as you bring your hand up onto your hip, turning to the left. Or maybe lift this arm up. Maybe sway it back and forth. Follow it with your eyes if that feels all right. And maybe you'll do a circle or two. Choose what feels good and listen to your body here. And then step your way back forward. Let's come over to the wall. Bring one of your sets of fingertips onto the wall. roughly shoulder height or a little bit higher. And then reach your other arm through, setting your arm down along the length of the wall with your shoulder possibly reaching through as well, so that you're giving a twist to your upper back. And you might be able to set your arm down all the way from your hand up to your shoulder as you reach this through. I take a few breaths here and then switch over to the other side. And when I do this second side, you'll have a different perspective on what I'm doing. You may even have the side of your head touching the wall. And come back up. Now let's take the band again. Put the band, middle of the band down on the mat, holding on to the ends, and step your feet. Try to have the band not wrinkled, and step your feet into the middle of the band. And you may need to shorten your grip on the band, having your hands, fingertips pointing downwards as you hold on to it. And then do a forward fold, rolling your way down. And my band is quite long, so I'm going to shorten up my grip and then roll the way back up. And here you feel the resistance of the band, making this a little bit more work, but also being a really nice cool down. And you may do a few roll downs up and down here, looking straight ahead of you. And then if you would like, you can add twisting over to your right side or rolling down here. And then if you do that, also twist over to the left side, roll down. And if you've done the twist to the side, then it's a great idea to come back to do at least one with your body pointing straight forward as you roll up and down. And you can finish off doing a few more of these if you like. And this is the end of our practice today. So I hope you've enjoyed it, and your upper body, back, shoulders, neck, arms feel, and core feel nicely warmed up. Have a great day. Take care. Bye now.